King of the Pit Media. Yo, we are going to be pitting today, people. I want to put you on some game. Or at least bring you in on a discussion, yes? I've got 3 hardcore punk albums I really enjoy. And we're going to talk about them. Yes, one not before the other. Just an alignment of 3 different albums. If you're not aware of, I would recommend if you want to delve into if you are not into hardcore. And just express some opinions. So, firstly, and don't you get me wrong, because I know some people are so clued up. Bruh, I don't know the documentation behind the bands. I don't know the ages and the government names and the locations to whichever degree of these bands, yeah. It's King of the Posers TV. I just like the music, alright? Because I know, well, trust me, if you're going to find autistic behaviour, you're going to find it in hardcore punk. Specialised interest 101, right? But this is the first record. Let me put you on. Slapshot. Step on it. I think this is, in my opinion, a great showcase, a great sound of organic hardcore punk music. It's punk in the sense that we've got 3 power chords. We're in and out of the songs. We've got the energy. We've got a snarling, shouting vocal. And we don't really err off too far into the metal space or the singer-songwriter space or the electro-funk space. This is hardcore in the sense that it's punk rock music you're allowed to shave your head and lift weights to. It's hard. And it puts the hard into hardcore. And I want to tell you what I really like about this record, and that is that it's infectious. Slapshot got a lot of good records. This band as a whole is a band I enjoy. I saw them live not so long back, and they are doing it right. The frontman, I believe he's called Choke. Not Choke No Joke, but Choke. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's like 60, 61 years old. He looks fresh. He looks fresh and healthy. And one of the main components to the lyrical concept of this act is borderline militant straight edge identity. And this guy is a great advertisement for living a clean lifestyle. He's in great shape, he looks good, he performs well, and I enjoyed watching them live. Now, back to the music. Infectious, fantastic songwriting, catchy songs, bare bones, minimal instrumental, yet infused with the energy you need to get your dancing shoes on and go for a mooch. Yet the band really optimizes themselves within the realm of the songwriting capability. The catchy hooks, emphasized by the very well produced gang vocals, the clear, coherent vocal content, although put forward in a manner which is aggro. They don't lose melodic value by being a hardcore punk band, but they're not melodic in a sense that you're listening to flipping Saves the Day, you know? You're listening to a minimalistic roots hardcore band. A little bit of skinhead in there, but I'm not a noihead, I'm not a skinhead head. So I can't reference too much when it comes to that. My ex-girlfriend at the time, I blasted a bit of Slapshot in the car, and she was just like, is this a Nazi band? But they're not, of course. But they have a particular sound to them that I appreciate quite well. Yeah, I think they're pretty good. Yeah. The more you sound like a Nazi band, the better, basically. I'm joking, alright? I'm joking. Plenty of catchy numbers. Chameleon, great tune. No Friend of Mine, great tune. Hang Up Your Boots, great tune. Some fantastic numbers on this record. Not necessarily high-paced, in your face, blasting tempo, but more of your mid-tempo with a catchy hook up on the top. I recommend this band if you like sing-along sections, if you like stage dives, if you like going for a dance without someone clocking your head to a breakdown, without someone targeting you. I think it's quite tasteful. If you like bomber jackets, yeah. If you like male pattern baldness, much recommended. And if you like militant, straight edge behaviour, yes, most definitely. There's some corkers, throughout the discography of this act when it comes to preaching the word of the gospel of edge, then you'll be quite fond. Yeah. We've actually got another straight edge band bordering on the militant on this album review setup I've got set up here. But we're going to move on to the next, yeah? Which definitely isn't a straight edge band. Product of Waste, You Won't Take Me Alive. This is a great record. This act put out a couple of good records anyway. But this one is my favourite, or at least when I was really into this band and when I was really into hardcore punk, it was this album that stood out to me the most. It was the most mature. It seemed like they had invested the most effort into this particular product. Now, fortunately, the frontman isn't with us no more. And rightfully so, they disbanded upon the departure of him. Because, we did a talk only like within the last video in regards to Suicide Silence. And when Mitch Lucker passed, it's like, it's just, I get it. Why not keep it alive? But the soul of the band has gone, So there was a fella called Terry. He fronted this band. He's not with us no more. Very talented man, very talented lyricist, right? So first and foremost, I'm going to say the lyrical content is good. Maybe in hindsight, there was a youthful edge to the lyrical content, which might be, it might not hit like it used to do, my younger self. But when I was younger and when I was, into punk for the political purpose as much as all else, and when I say political, I liked the anti-authoritarian position, and I liked when that was emphasized, and I liked when that was enforced and put forward in like more of a conspiratorial manner, not just like a left wing, right wing, we play the rules that they give us, but more so of a, you're all a bunch of reptilians and you're going to fly off in a spaceship sort of thing and leave us down here. I like that. And Terry gave us that in the lyrical content on this record. Now, instrumentally, it's fast. It can be blazing fast at times to the degree where you're adjacent with the fastcore racks, but it's hardcore. You're looking at... Yeah, I'd average at around 1 minute 30 a tune, And I don't know how many tunes you got on this record. You probably got about, 10 to 12 tunes, I think, on this record. I don't know. But great lyrical content. Great street element. Believable street element, not in the same, because over here you'll get everyone like gets bullied at school, right? Everyone gets bullied at high school by what we call the chavs, yeah. Some poor poverty stricken guy who's a bit of a bully, and he picks some people who are different, and then they come out of high school and they try to reclaim that ego that was hurt by the kid who came from the street, and they start dressing up like and manifesting as that exact same person and participating in hardcore and writing about songs about stabbing people and beating people up, and they start a beat down act and stuff like that. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's rare you come across organic, realistic, lyrical content that stems from a place of believability. And this guy was nice with the pen. He did a couple of hip-hop things external to this. He was nice with the pen. Musically, we're good. I've seen a couple of live bits. They were a punk rock band as far as, just getting people to fill in and stuff. So generally the live performance from what I saw, I would have loved to have seen them live, but generally the live performance didn't look too great. They weren't a type band. They were a punk rock band. I actually, when the guy was still knocking about, I left him a message. I said, "Oh, when you're coming to England," and he said, "No, when you're coming to America." That sums it up. You know what I mean? And I got to put some respect on that. Some great tunes on this. I got into this through one particular song. Someone posted a track one time, and it was You Won't Take Me Alive. I think it was the title track on this. Never be a brick inside your wall. Fuck that, I'd rather see it fall. Bloody, 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 blah, bloody, 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 blah. And there was a great mosh bit in there where it just kicks in. You got a nice little bass line, little side-to-side number, and I thought, you know what, it hit me at the right time, connected with me at the right time. I checked the record out, and I thought that was a great record. Now, let's finish off with album number 3 that I really liked and appreciated. I don't really delve too much into this music no more. I'm quite progressive with my taste. I don't have enough time to listen to music to keep referring back to the same old. I like to keep my palette fresh, but this is one of 2 full-length albums I think they put out, but this one in particular is the one that tickles my pickle the most. This is Floor Punch, so this is another straight edge album, but not straight edge in the sense that you're listening to, in my opinion, like boring youth crew music. It's more modernized, like the traditional, and that's the intro, and then you just got like, there's a lot of, I'll tell you what, to put a long story short, general youth crew sound doesn't appeal to me much, but this is fresh. Great sound production, incredible sing-along value, amazing energy. I saw Floor Punch perform, fortunately, over here in England some time back now, but amazing performance, really good show. Such as the Slapshot record, you get some quality straight edge lyrics if you're that way inclined, Bro, and I'll tell you what, I mentioned this to my friend, actually, I don't know if this is an English thing. I don't know if I've ever come across like a grown straight edge woman. They're all dudes. I thought that was fascinating. I tried to look into a philosophical and biological sort of rooted standpoint from understanding that, but you don't really get women claiming edge around here. You might know someone personally. I've never come across a person like that. But then again, I'm from the outside looking in. It's King of the Posers TV. So Fast Times is the record. I think it's got a broader title, Fast Times at Summit. But, here it is, titled Fast Times on the album cover. Great production value, great sing-along value. What you'll acknowledge is in these 3 hardcore albums I've sort of spoken of, the sing-along is incredible because I don't think you as an artist are gonna be that successful, or you're taking the harder route to garnering some degree of receptivity of the audience if you're not applying a connection and engagement with those who will be listening to your music. It's a very egocentric viewpoint I have of why I like these bands. And it's because the baseline and the foundation of why I like these bands is because I can be engaged with the music. I can sing along to the music. I can grab the mic and sing a song with the band. It's about me more than the band. And that's why these bands are great. Because whether they are aware of what they've done or not, they have created art that is magnetic to an audience that aligns with the frequency as to which they're producing. I don't know how many tunes you got on this record. I would say you probably got about 12 numbers, 12 to 14 numbers perhaps. And yeah, it's fast, it's brief, it's very energetic, it's full of mosh sections, not in your, beat down chug metal sense, but organic, power chord driven, breakdowns in the sense that it is, it's an instrumental breakdown as opposed to a tempo and riff breakdown, There's a couple of New York-esque, hip-hop infused instrumental sections where you can get your dancing shoes to, but the magic is in the fast to the mid-tempo, fast to the mid-tempo, fast to the mid-tempo, Fast, have a little bit of a sing-along, and without knowing it, boom, you're back into yet another sing-along of a different kind, but you can have a little bit of a shin shandy with the tom drums and whatnot. Very cool. Very cool. Great band, great entity, great energy. And I recommend them 3 records. On that note, I'm signing out, people. If you know these or want to recommend your own, please do so. Let's talk music. One love.